Good morning. This is Billy G. Hope everybody's doing okay. I think we are. I think I'm doing okay. But you never really know. You never know what somebody's going through. But right now, we're about to go through a roof installation. And I'm just going to walk this recent residential roof that we've done. It's a 2-day project, and we finished up yesterday afternoon. I thought it'd be a good roof to walk and do a brief breakdown on how we built the roof system. It's nothing complicated. It's a pretty simple roof, but for a homeowner, it's a big deal to have your roof replaced, even though we do it every day, and sometimes we kind of forget that the homeowner does not replace a roof every single day. So I'm making this video for any prospective customers or anybody across the English-speaking world that is in the market for a roof replacement. This is how we build roofs. We are in Montgomery, Alabama. We're in the deep south. It's hot all the time. We have maybe 2 months of winter, then every other month is summer. So we are seasoned in battling the elements. We get a lot of storms through here, but this roof that I'm about to show you, this roof is made to last, and that makes me feel good. And hopefully the homeowner feels good. I just had a conversation with her. She's real happy with everything. She complimented the guys. We have the best crew this side of the Mississippi and the other side of the Mississippi. We have the best crew. These guys are workhorses. They love what they do. At least they tell me that, and I appreciate them. I get to make videos, and anyway, I get to make videos, and they do the hard work, and I appreciate that. And we have a really good crew. I couldn't do it without them. They could probably do it without me, but I'm gonna take you guys along for this breakdown. So here we go. I'm getting emails. I'm recording this on my phone. I'm not high tech or anything until it comes to your roof. Then I bust out all the tech. So here we go. Dang, that was a 3-minute intro. I apologize. So this is a half of a ladder right here, and I'm gonna walk up the ladder. So we're gonna start right here at the roof's edge. This is a detail that we think is a must-have on a roof replacement. This is your edge metal right here. This is an aluminum drip edge. It has an 1.5 inch profile right there where my finger's going up, down. That's the profile. And this goes over your fascia edge. And then there's a 4-inch flange that goes to about right there. And so that is attached to the roof deck. The roof deck on this house is OSB, 7/16 OSB. And that is underneath all the roofing, of course. We replaced several sheets of plywood, or OSB. OSB is technically not plywood, so if you hear me say plywood, I'm referring to OSB in this situation. Anyway, this color of edge metal right here, eave drip flashing, is weathered wood, and it is the same color as the shingles. This is a weathered wood shingle that I'm looking at. This is GAF HDZ. The edge metal goes underneath. It's the first thing that we install once the old roof is replaced. And the synthetic underlayment, which you can see right in there, there's a piece of synthetic underlayment that goes on top of the edge metal. The synthetic underlayment goes over the entire wood deck, OSB deck, before we start to install shingles. So here we go. That was the edge metal detail. I'm also able to walk on this roof. This is a 8-on-12. I'm able to walk on it with ease because of these shoes right here. These are a special shoe designed for roofing. The brand is Cougar Paws. They don't sponsor me. Maybe they will someday, I don't know. But there's a little sponge on the bottom of them, and it just grabs onto the asphalt shingle. I don't know who invented it, but they're probably not working right now. Probably in the Bahamas or somewhere. But these are the best shoes for asphalt shingle roofing. Check that out. Okay, so this roof is 84 squares. So it's kind of on the large side, which is why it took 2 days. Check this out. Okay, so let's just start, we'll just start right here. Okay, so we removed all of the old shingles. This roof had 30-year architectural shingles on them, and it probably lasted about 20 years. And it had hail damage, wind damage, workmanship issues. We removed all of the old shingles down to the OSB deck. We replaced several sheets of decking, and then we installed our synthetic underlayment over the whole roof. We replaced all of the pipe penetrations. So anywhere where we've got a penetration, you see a plumbing vent, there's a low profile vent over there. All of the flashings are new. This right here is it's either a water heater or a furnace vent. I think this is a furnace vent, but we replaced the base on the furnace vent, and then also the storm collar right here. And then we painted everything with a Sherwin-Williams paint, 2 coats, and it matches the shingles, or at least complements the shingles. This is just a weathered wood paint, and this is going to protect the pipe assembly from rust, and it looks good. Kind of gives a good finishing look when you're all done. I don't like to see roofs that have been replaced and the pipe assemblies aren't painted, because you're just looking at galvanized steel, and it just looks better, in my opinion, when it's painted. Also, you'll notice on all of our pipe assemblies, any kind of pipe or metal flange that's coming through the roof that has a flange detail, which is most pipe collars, vents, even attic fans, we put a heavy duty screw to hold the flange down. That's very important. We learned this the hard way. Every other roofer, at least in our area, is, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. There's some birds fighting over there. Or maybe making love, I don't know. Or maybe that's the same thing. I don't know, it's kind of a philosophical question maybe. We're not gonna, that'll be another video. But we use a heavy duty screw, and you'll notice that on all the other pipes. This keeps this flange down. This is an 1.5 inch threaded, fully threaded screw with a neoprene gasket right there. That keeps the water out, and this will last a long time, and it'll prevent this flange from wanting to lift up. If you only put nails in that, the flange is gonna wanna lift up. Anyway, I don't mean to spend too much time on that, but I think that is important. So most of the roof is an 8-on-12. This part right here is a 3-on-12. We wrapped this with Storm Guard underlayment just to provide extra protection. It's a brick chimney right here that we reflashed. We built a small cricket behind the chimney, and we've got base flashing and then counter flashing that attaches to the brick. That whole chimney obstruction right there is wrapped with Storm Guard leak barrier underlayment. The leak barrier goes 5 inches up the brick and then 31 inches onto the roof deck. That's very important when you have any obstruction, to completely wrap it with a leak barrier. Obstructions like chimneys, pipe collars, vents are all leak prone when you have a wind-driven rain, and we get a lot of those in Alabama and probably all over the country. There's times where the rain is just being influenced by the wind, and it can get underneath flashing details. When that happens, it's not going to flood your house, but there could be water that gets underneath the shingles and could result in a potential leak. When you have a leak barrier self-adhering underlayment, that prevents that from happening. So we do that on all obstructions, including the furnace pipe that I was showing earlier. That also has storm guard underlayment wrapped around it. And any other pipe assembly, see several vents over here, attic fan, some kind of kitchen vent right there. Sorry if I'm pointing, it's hard to point right when you're looking at your, anyway, all of these vents over here, have leak barrier underlayment around them. This is a new attic fan right here. This house has 3 attic fans. It's kind of a large house. And this is the exhaust ventilation on the house. With exhaust ventilation, it's very important that you also have intake ventilation underneath the roof, and the soffits are soffit vents, and you need an equal amount of intake versus exhaust. And then you have an attic space that breathes, which is very important for the longevity of the shingles. This is a GAF attic fan, and we're gonna have a licensed electrician hook that up. That's also very important. Don't let the roofers, who are very good at roofing, but they're not electricians, do not let them wire attic fans. This is another attic fan. You can see where we've got the heavy duty screws that go into that as well. On all of our valleys, a valley is basically a drain on the roof, and this roof has a couple hundred linear feet of valleys. We install the same storm guard leak barrier underlayment in the valley, which you cannot see here, but the leak barrier underlayment is 36 inches wide, and it is centered with the valley. So on either side of this valley, we have 18 inches going into the other panel. Valleys are also leak prone. Valleys are what drains a roof. So on this roof, you're gonna get drainage coming down field panels, but 40 to 60% of the water is going to drain on valleys. So it just gets a large volume of water, and it's very important that the valley system has that extra layer of protection. Some people will install metal in the valleys. We do that sometimes if we have an exposed valley system. This is a closed cut valley where you cannot see what's underneath, and we find that if we put metal underneath a closed cut valley, that the metal will buckle over time and create a bump in the shingles that could be problematic in the future. So on closed cut valleys, we don't put metal. I guess you can. We've just learned from experience that it just doesn't work long term. And a ice and water shield or leak barrier is the preferred method, at least here in the Southeast. So let's see. Let's give a good panoramic view of the roof here. It's a 2-day installation process. We had about 12 guys here each day. This is the ridge cap that we used. This is also a GAF product. This is Sealer Ridge, and it has a adhesive strip right there that you can see that is a continuous adhesive strip. A lot of guys will use a 3-tab shingle to install ridge caps. A 3-tab shingle does have a form of adhesive but it's not continuous. The adhesive will just be a little 2-inch piece of adhesive right there, and then one on the other side. That can create wind uplift opportunity. So this GAF sealer ridge is designed for ridge caps, which is one reason why we're more expensive. It costs more to put this ridge cap on, but ridges are very prone to wind uplift. You just imagine a windy storm coming through. These hips and ridges are gonna get the brunt of the wind. And if these are not sealed the right way, then they'll start to flap in the wind like that and then eventually just tear off. And we do not have that problem with GAF sealer ridge. Also, the starter shingle is the starter shingle also has a continuous adhesive strip. Don't know if we'll be able to see it, but it is designed for starter use. So a lot of guys will turn a regular field shingle upside down, and that will be their starter course, but that is also prone to wind uplift. So we finished this up yesterday, and you can see that the starter shingle under there has already sealed to the first course of shingle. And that's why we use actual starter shingles, and we don't turn a field shingle upside down as our starter course. That's very important. And that's it. This is a 30-year roof replacement, and that's it. Hopefully the homeowners will go a long time without ever thinking about their roof, and that's our goal. That's it. This is Billy G with Guyette Roofing, and I'm in Montgomery, Alabama.